right, good afternoon, Denver, Colorado. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, live from number 38 here in Rhino, a special Saturday edition of The Final Word. Sunday will be a busy day. Alex Ramirez and I will be out at Empower Field covering the Broncos from kickoff all the way to the end of the game and maybe even afterwards. Good morning or good afternoon, Alex. I'll tell you what, man. It's a special Saturday afternoon show, and it's a special time. It looks like this might be one of those great years in Denver sports.
Joe, I was just mentioning to you guys and the producers, Danny and Nick, that when the Broncos win, we win.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah.
Number 38 wins.
Yeah.
LA Sports wins.
The fans win.
The fans win.
Businesses win.
Businesses win. Hotels win.
Suavecito Tequila wins.
Tequila wins. Los Dos Patrias wins.
Yes.
And we love it because it just enhances the show and it enhances the program. Yeah, Joe, I am so pumped, man. We're going from 2 to 4 today, and I like the fact that we're here. Big thanks and shout out to Nate Lundy and Danny Bailey and Nick
love you guys.
Thank you guys for letting us do this, man. But this is awesome, man.
Well, the other thing I want to talk about a little bit is we were out Saturday in Boulder, Colorado. What an impressive win by the CU Buffs. You know, if we're going to criticize guys and kind of say, hey, they need to do this and that, I thought they played their best game of the year. I know they're only 3-4, so let's not, write any, bowl game predictions or anything like that. But I think it makes for a very interesting game next week at the University of Utah, one of the Buffs' rivals. And I'll say that, they're right down the closest team to the Buffs. And I'm going to say this, Utah's a good football team, but I think CU, if they can continue to find that intensity they had last week, I think the Buffs could make some trouble for teams down the road. I don't think they're going to be any type of playoff contender, I think there's still a couple upsets left for the Buffs.
I don't think anybody wants to play the Buffs right now at this point.
Yeah.
I believe that. The Buffs right now.
You see the dancing on the table?
Listen. They were off this week, right? So give us a little break, a little bit, Joe, right? Because we've been going hard, man, with the Buffs, man.
Oh my god,
and we're out there all the time. And those games. Listen, people watch us. We're out there covering the Buffs
4.5, 5 hours, man.
Man, when you leave the game, it's not like we just get home.
We're tired, dude.
We don't get home like an hour later.
No,
it's like
2.5 hours.
Highway 93, you take Highway 36, Joey.
No, I didn't. We both took 93.
Oh, we did that.
That one, yeah, I usually take 36, but unfortunately,
dude, those drives are hard, man.
Drive.
And then there's a construction project going on 93.
Oh man!
And you know what? Listen, I'm not complaining because I'm not an old man. Because maybe
get
off my long guy.
Yeah, it was a good deal. Always still fortunate to be able to cover the team.
It's a tough
drive though.
It's a tough drive, but you know what? Here's the thing, man.
It's better when they win, though.
Buffs, when they beat Iowa State, last weekend, I was excited. You were there. Yeah. I was there. We were just happy to be there, man. And but Joe, at the end of the day, the Buffs and the Broncos, two different.
Oh, yeah. One team's not going anywhere. One team is going anywhere. One team is going somewhere.
Joe.
Well, you're right, because the CU Buffs, as much as we love them, they're not going anywhere this year. They might, if they get to the Raisin Bowl, great. Good for them. 6-6.
I got to tell you something. Hold on, I got to tell you something.
Okay, good.
So when I was leaving the Buffs game on Saturday last weekend,
there
was a Holiday Bowl representative that I spoke to.
Yeah.
Right. And what he said to me, and I'm not going to give him his name because he didn't want me to tell his name, but he did say that he would like to see the Buffs, if they get to 6 wins and the number 2 or 3
that
ACC
wouldn't be possible.
Listen, Joey, he told me this. 2 or number 3 team, maybe a Clemson.
Right. No,
I Holiday Bowl in San Diego.
There's some rules for that, Alex. You know better than to
you want
talk
to go to San Diego?
I do. But listen, there's some rules. First of all, they're slotted teams. So the ranking the Buffs would have to get to in the Big 12 conference.
You got to get 6 wins.
Not just 6 wins. So for the Holiday Bowl, they have to get to the number 3 team in the Big 12 because they slot these things in.
He
I got it.
Get to 6 dubs. And you're going to be playing either Clemson or the number 2 or 3 team in the
they
ACC.
could do it. They can do it because really, if you're not in the playoff, all these other bowls can do whatever they want. And you know that as well as I do. The playoff is where it's at.
It would be a January 2nd game, is what he said.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right now, if the CU Buffs get to play in any kind of a bowl game this year, we'll be there. I'm going to make that statement. We'll figure a way to get down there. Last year, the reason Alex and I didn't go is we knew that Travis and Shador were not going to be interested in the game. They were playing in the game as a favor to their dad and their best friend.
Which is also unfortunate because, Joey, I mean, you have a Heisman Trophy winner.
They should have been engaged.
You have a guy who's supposed to be drafted in the first round, but he didn't.
He got drafted in the 5th round,
which is weird. But
it's very weird.
But anyways, at the end of the day, Joey, this is a different kind of story. It's a different year. Every year.
Well, look, man, if they get to 7 wins this year, I think it'd be a great year. I mean, it'd be a super year. I don't think they're going to get there. I think more like 6.
You don't think they can get 4 more wins?
No. I think that they're going to have their hands full getting 3 more.
They
wins.
have Utah, Arizona, West Virginia, Arizona State, and Kansas State left on the schedule.
Yeah, I believe they're favored in one of those games.
2 home games, Joe.
Right. Listen, man. Listen, though, they played as well. If they play like they played against Iowa State, Alex, they can beat anybody left on their schedule because the Big 12 is down this year. The Big 12 is, I think, Nick, look at who the highest ranked team in the Big 12 is.
Big 12 is number 1. They're 6-0, followed by Texas Tech, Cincinnati.
But they're not number 1 in the country. Who's the highest ranked Big 12 team? I believe it's Texas Tech.
No, it's BYU.
What ranking is they?
They're number 1 in Big 12.
No, I meant in the national rankings, Nick. Check that out in the top 25. I believe Texas Tech is in the top 5.
It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, it matters for the playoff. But my thinking is Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12 right now. You got BYU, and the Buffs have already played. So the rest of the teams on the Buff schedule, they can beat any of those teams, but they can also lose to any of those teams. I think Caden Solder, if he plays the way that they played against Iowa State, I think they have a chance to run off 3 or 4 wins in a row.
I was watching a podcast the other day with Gorilla Sports with our buddy Brandon Christel, who runs that entire organization. And they have a CJ and Alfred Williams show.
Yep.
All right. And I love it. By the way, those guys are killing it.
I love Alfred.
Hey, those guys are killing it, man. Those are friends of ours.
Love Alfred, love CJ.
But the other day, they were talking about Keaton Salter being what a great game and what he did amazing things. No, he didn't. He missed so many passes in that first half, Joey. He overthrew players. He overthrew running backs that were going into the end zone. And I'm not going to sit there and go, yeah, just because they won doesn't mean you have to put Keaton Salter on a pedestal and say, you know what, they're doing great. Because they weren't, man. You and I were there. We were sitting there eating tacos, Joey, in the press box. And I was like, no, dude, look at this guy. We were hanging out with some guys from the Gazette, from the Colorado Gazette, and they were not. He was not producing.
He didn't play very well in the first half.
No, he didn't. So why all of a sudden, because he won a game against Iowa State, which was ranked number 22 in the country?
Well, Iowa State's on their way down, obviously.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, why would you say that he played a great game? Because he didn't play a great game.
Well, I think he played better than he has in the past because they were losing games like this, and this is a game the Buffs were favored to lose. So anytime you win against a team like that,
why would you say he played a great game?
He didn't play a great game.
No, he played a horrible game.
He didn't play a great game. You know who played a great game? The defense.
Yes.
The defense played a great game, and that's that's the side of the ball that won that football game. Yeah. It had very little to do with Caden Salter. I think he got better in the second half, and I think the Buffs in general.
And you said, Jerry, we were eating there, we were watching in the game, and you're like, he needs to just tuck the ball in and run.
He needs to run. He's a running quarterback. He's a running quarterback.
The option and let him dive in and go into the gut and just keep running the ball. And that didn't happen.
Well, he's never going to be the guy, Alex. He made 2 nice throws in the second half of the end zone. He made an NFL-type throw, but that might be the first one this year. They've got a long way to go.
Even Omari
They're not going to be
on
favored.
That touchdown pass, he was like waiting for that catch to happen.
Well, he was also wide open.
But he was wide open, but he was still waiting for that.
You're right.
Pass.
Well, what I'm saying
that
is,
pass should have led him. Joey.
Listen, Alex, what I'm saying is if there would have been an actual defender in the area, that pass could have been intercepted or incomplete. He was lucky he was that wide open. I will give Caden Salter a little bit of credit, though. He didn't look very good at the beginning of the year at all. You and I were up there at Georgia Tech. That game, he was all right. And then he was okay, obviously, against Delaware. But the next 2 games against BYU, and I can't remember who the other game was against, to be honest with you, but he didn't look very good at all. He was actually benched. Ryan Staub had to come in. What game was Ryan Staub playing?
Game 3. He was at Houston.
Was it at Houston?
Yeah.
And then
I was in Las Vegas watching that game at the Circus Sports Book.
He played pretty good, Ryan Staub, that
I
game.
put money on that game, Joe, just so you know.
Well, I'm going to say
I'm
this.
not affiliated with the University of Colorado as far as like.
No, you can bet anything you want.
And I put a couple $100 on that game. I was
Well,
in Vegas with my nephews. We were at the game for the Canelo fight that weekend. And we were at I don't know, man. I was so upset. It just bothered me that I was so dumbfounded that I did that. But at the end of the day, it happened. Kaden Seltzer looked like a guy who was lost. All right. So all of a sudden now he wins the game against Iowa State. And he's a guy that now, whoa, you look great. He's not going to the NFL, Joe. Are you kidding me? He's not going to the NFL.
Well, listen, Kaden Salter is going, if he went to the NFL, would not be as a quarterback. He might be able to play on the arena team, the Colorado Spartans. He might get a look there because I think he'd be a good arena guy. He might be a CFL type guy. But if he wants to play quarterback,
he's going to put in the Colorado Spartans.
Right. That's what he would have to do. He'd have to play on a National Arena League team. He is not an NFL project. All right, we're going to go to break. Alex and I will be back. Remember, at 3:05, we have Tony Thompson from the Colorado Spartans. 3:35, Troy Renck. But when we get back, Nick, Alex, and I will talk about, is it the greatest performance in sports history? Shohei Ohtani,
Yes.
3 home runs, 10 strikeouts, 6-inning pitch.
Yes.
I mean, this guy was just I don't even watch baseball. I was glued to every pitch. And when he hit the home run in the 7th inning, me, a guy that is not a Dodger fan by any means.
Were you at home, Joe?
I was at home, and I stood up in my living room and I was cheering for the LA Dodgers, and I was cheering for baseball, and I was cheering for sports, and I was cheering that guy could have that kind of power. And that crowd, by the way, the stadium I thought
Joey,
was going to fall down.
I don't remember the last time a performance from any professional athlete, whether it be football, whether it be basketball, baseball, hockey, doesn't matter. Last night was special. And if Nick Archuleta doesn't agree with that, then we're going to talk about it.
We will, and we'll bring you that and much, much more when you return to the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel at number 38.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail-damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Spartans! What is your profession? Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
Played with arguably the best corner to ever lace him up in Champ Bailey. And guess what? He too was victimized by certain plays, but he never gave up. And that's what I see in PS2, right? The idea of never giving up. Yes, you may get beat, but he is a complete corner.
Yeah, for this one, it's just us. Yeah,
you and Nick.
Yeah.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
All right, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, we are back at number 38 on a special Saturday afternoon edition of The Final Word. Tony Thompson coming up at 3:05, and our good friend Troy Renck will be with us at 3:35 to close the show. We'll be talking Broncos and Buffs, along with the latest Colorado Spartans news. We'll see what other surprises Tony has for us at 3:05. All right, we were finishing our discussion in baseball last night. Shohei Ohtani put on, in my mind, the greatest sports performance in the history of sports. This guy went 6 innings, struck out 10, and also had 3 home runs in the game. Dodgers victory, securing their back-to-back berth in the World Series. Of course, the Dodgers, the World Series champs. The crowd, Alex, was electric. Yeah, defending champs. And the crowd was electric last night. I haven't seen that kind of intensity. When he hit that 3rd home run, I thought Dodgers Stadium was going to fall down. Your thoughts, and was it the greatest performance that you've ever seen in one sporting event, in one night, one game?
First of all, I want to say, that I have never watched a baseball game from the beginning to the end. Ever.
Yeah, I know that should be true.
That's like ever. Like I watched the game from when it started until it ended. And I was with my dad. We were watching the game last night. And to see the dominance of one individual player take over a game, not only on the bat, but pitching. Even when they pulled him out, he was still throwing 94, 93. It was the most impressive. And there's a lot of people that are out there, high media, ESPN, CNN, that have said themselves that they haven't seen nothing like this. This was something that you had to really watch. Like if I didn't watch that game last night and I was out at a event or whatever, and I would have woke up in the morning and if I read about it, I wouldn't have been able to capture that essence of what happened last night. And I know our producer, our executive producer, Nick Arch, is a baseball purist, and to see what happened last night from the first pitch to the last game,
Last pitch.
last pitch, it was amazing, man. It was really simply amazing to see one athlete dominate a game, which requires the entire team to do it, but he did it himself. Even his teammates, Freddie Freeman, Kiki Rodriguez, all these guys.
Kike Hernandez.
Kiki Hernandez. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Mookie Betts.
Sorry.
You're going to drop names. Drop the right ones.
Yeah,
I'm going to drop them. Thank you for correcting me. But I'm just saying, guys, last night was one of the most amazing, if not the most impressive performances in sports I've ever seen. And I was comparing it. I'm like, what would have been better than that? Von Miller, Super Bowl 50?
No.
I was thinking like Joker when he won the championship. No, I honestly can't compare this victory and that performance to anybody I've ever seen playing, Nick. Tell me if I'm wrong.
As an individual, I already told you, I will give credit where credit is due. Shohei Ohtani, as an individual, showed up and owned that game last night. He pitched 6 innings, 100 pitches. That's why they pulled him. He still continued his at-bats. 3 dingers. I mean, it's not something that hasn't been done in MLB before,
Dingers,
but
bombs.
To each his own. They're still dingers either way. I will give credit where credit is due. It took him 3 games to get it figured out, though, because before the last 2 games,
3 for 29 going into the game.
He was in the slump. I get it.
And for him to snap out of it at that time, it was great timing for him. He's a great baseball player. I told you, I cannot take away from what Shohei Ohtani is. He is a unicorn. This is obviously, everybody keeps saying we haven't seen the likes of anything like this since Babe Ruth. We haven't had a pitcher that can hit that well, and I can't take away from him. But
is Babe Ruth the comparison with that kind of performance?
Yes. Have you 714 home runs?
Yeah.
Granted, he was pulled from pitching and turned into a right fielder by the Yankees.
Pitching at that kind of level.
He was.
Well, he did win 20 games.
The Boston Red Sox.
He did win 20 games in 1919, the year before he became traded. Before he got traded, he was one of the best pitchers in the American League. But let me just say this. What happened to Babe Ruth is after a few years of pitching, when he was traded to the Yankees moved him to right field.
He wasn't throwing 100 miles an hour.
No way. Now, that part, I will agree with you. Listen, and I was
even when they pulled him out of the game, he was still throwing 94.
Well,
95.
he was throwing higher than that. He threw 2 pitches at 97 miles an hour right before he got out. But at the end of the day, showing what I'll say is this: you can argue whatever you want, but I just say I'm going to appreciate this guy and watch him, because we'll never see. We're not going to see this again next week. We're not going to see this again 2 weeks from now. So just enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a Dodgers fan to enjoy what you're seeing from Shohei Ohtani. I mean, you could be a fan of any sport, and if you're a baseball fan, a baseball purist, you're going to just sit there and go, "Holy crap. This guy's amazing, man." I mean, the performance, if you can't look at something like that and just appreciate it as one of the, and maybe we don't have to say it's the greatest. Maybe that's recency bias, because I just saw it.
There were other pitchers that pitched better than Ohtani, too.
But I am going to say
who's that? Who's
Blake
that?
Snell and Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Did he have 3 dingers?
Yamamoto went full game.
Did he have 3 dingers?
Blake Snell went 8, but they don't hit anymore. That's why I'm giving credit where credit's due. But I'm saying pitching-wise,
Ohtani's hitting is the DH.
You can't put that consideration
I'm
unless
saying
there's a player.
Pitching-wise.
No, okay, pitching-wise, I get that.
How is it legal for Ohtani to be both the pitcher and the designated
That's
hitter?
ridiculous.
Because they allow it in Major League Baseball because you can.
So
as long
any
as you don't
player
leave
can be the
field,
designated hitter.
Yeah, you can have a DH for your right fielder for all MLB cares.
So let me ask you this, Nick, because you are a baseball guy. When was the last time anybody struck out in Game 4 of the National League West?
National League Championship.
National
League Championship.
Not the National League West.
National League Championship. Throw 10 Ks, allowed one run, one whatever it was, half a run, one run, whatever, and still have 3 home runs. That's never happened in baseball history,
No,
man.
I'm giving credit where
it's
credit.
not happened.
You're not listening, though. I'm giving credit where credit is due. I'm telling you, Shohei Ohtani is a unicorn. But as far overall, yes, it was a great performance. But I'm telling you, there were 2 other pitchers on that Dodgers roster that pitched better than him.
No, I agree. I could even say this.
But they don't
I
hit
could
home
even-
runs.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
Listen to me. The thing that I'm going to say is this. I'm only talking about one game, not what everybody else did. Only where does Shohei Ohtani's performance last night rank as far as you watching a television set out there at home? Any of you are fans. I will say it's number 1 for me. Now, I'm going to say this. It didn't have any emotional attachment. I didn't cry like I did when John Elway did the helicopter. I didn't cry like I did when Terrell Davis had 157 yards and 3
I was
touchdowns.
thinking about that,
But
too,
if
Joe.
you just talk about, and I'm not a fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Neither am I.
But if you can't look at that performance and put that as one of the top 5 performances for one game. I don't care about what he did before there or what he did after or what anybody else on the field did. He pitched 6 and he did not give up a run. I believe it was 6 shutout innings with 10 Ks. Well, Nick, can you get his
I'm
final
getting it
box
pulled
score?
up. Hang on, give me just.
Yeah, and even if it was 1 run, because I'm not sure. My point is, the
6
guy had-
innings, 2 hits, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts.
how many runs?
No runs.
No runs. Exactly what I said.
all right,
I don't know why you argue with me because
I'm not
I
arguing with
actually
you. Listen,
am a sports
Joe, listen.
historian. I don't like to say
When was
things
the
unless they're
last time
factual.
in any sport?
No, it's never
whether it be
happened.
Football.
Why are you doing any sport? Baseball is
first of
different.
all,
It has
yeah,
to be-
baseball's
it has
different.
To be one of the greatest
It is.
performances
It
in
is.
professional sports
It is.
history. And if I would have just woke up this morning and read about it, I would have been like, I didn't get it. But I watched it. Dude, this is the first time I watched a game.
That's probably part of the problem.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
You're tainted.
right.
Maybe this was the first time I watched the game from the entirety, from the start to the end. But listen, Jordan 63 against Boston. Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points. I don't know, man.
Bob Gibson, 17 Ks. Kevin Brown,
Oh.
16. I mean, we can compare different
But,
stats.
but the problem,
not.
no, we
No
can't
way. No,
compare
you
that
can't.
because none of those
No.
guys hit 3 home runs. So I don't want to hear it.
That's not
no,
of that's
no,
not
no.
their
In my-
fault.
In my
It's
opinion,
huge.
Some of that
in
is
my-
not their fault.
in
They
my-
couldn't
Some of
do
that
it.
stems from the fact
Actually,
that they were in the American League before the rules changed.
Kevin Brown might have been able to hit 3 home runs a game because Kevin Brown was a great hitting pitcher. But the majority
Did
of
he
what
hit
we
home
saw,
runs, Joe?
yes, he could. Greg Maddux and Kevin Brown were 2 extraordinary hitting
But
pitchers.
did they hit home runs? Though?
Well, Greg Maddux did. As a matter of fact, Greg Maddux, I believe, and Mike Hampton was another
My
guy
dad
who
was
hit
telling me that Fernando
Mike
Valenzuela used to hit home runs back when he was
somewhat.
he was
But
playing.
at the end of
But
the
it was
day,
not like this.
not
though.
like this, not 50. And
No,
let's-
I'm sorry,
can
guys.
we just
I'm
say,
sorry,
But again,
guys,
he's
this-
a unicorn. I already
This was
well,
the
that's
most
the whole point.
impressive-
Every great performance
And
that
Troy
I
Renck
can
has
think
come
of
on
put
here.
on by a
Hold on.
unicorn.
Troy Renck put on a post last night saying that he's never, in his 35 years of covering
Major League Baseball,
sports
the
and
Rockies
baseball all the way
writer
around,
for 21 years.
he's never seen anything like
no.
that.
That's
I
if a
agree.
guy like that says that, I'll take that word over even my own, because I will say this. I go back in baseball. I mean, I loved baseball before. I will say over the past few years, because my love for the game has probably increased just because of being on the field now.
He made me want to love baseball, man, Joe.
Yeah, and I'll say just watching my kid play makes me want to love it.
There
And
you go,
Shohei Ohtani is the most popular player in sports right now. There is no doubt. Every one of my
Not
kids,
most popular, most
everyone-
dominant.
well, not only
athlete.
that, he's also the most popular. Every one of my kids' teammates, what did they want for Christmas? I asked him. 6 kids said an Ohtani jersey. So you know what? That tells me everything I need to
I asked
know.
our great friend, hi, Trong, right there. He's sitting right there. I said, hey, you got an Ohtani jersey for me? He goes, not yet.
No,
But I
he
got
will.
you. But
He
I got
will.
you.
I'm sure he
I
will
got
have.
you.
But he's a great businessman. He'll have some later on. But at the end of the day, I just want to give kudos to Shohei Ohtani. All right, let's move on. Before we get to Tony
But hold on,
Thompson,
hold on,
who's
hold
on his
hold
way.
I just want to make sure Nick and I are on
All
the
right.
same agreement.
Okay.
Was that not the best performance in the
One
history
game.
of sports history last night?
Sports history, I would have to.
Tell
No,
me,
I can't
tell
say
me
no.
if
I can't
you
say
tell me
yes
if
yet.
you
If
had
you say
someone
yes
better,
or no,
I can't say yes.
So
yet.
he's going to
I'd
do
have
some
to-
research.
Yeah,
You'd
I'd
have
have
to
to-
think your
research.
mind.
You have to know now. You're sports.
I'm going to say
broadcaster,
yes.
You have a show.
No, because you're comparing all kinds of different.
Can I
in
get? I'm just going to
yes.
say baseball.
I'm putting football,
baseball, yes.
basketball, baseball,
No.
hockey. I'm talking about right now.
No, because
That
I
was
don't
the
know
best
hockey that
performance
well. I
in the
can't. I don't know
history.
basketball that well.
Well,
I
look-
can't say yes. I mean, Michael Jordan's done great things that I remember watching as a kid.
I'm
You've got
talking about
other-
one game performance as
Well,
the most dominant performance.
you
of
never
all
know.
How
time.
many
You
times
will
am I going to
get
have to
some
tell you
argument from
yes?
people.
You
Okay.
don't listen. I said yes as
Okay,
an individual.
Begrudgingly, Nick agrees that individually, that performance
Can you agree
in
with that,
baseball.
Joey?
I've already said, I go on record as saying that's the best performance in the history of Major League Baseball. When you talk about
Not just
professional
the majors,
sports,
Joey.
because when you throw in Olympics and when it's just one event, like
All
you know,
right, who-
Michael Phelps, different things, different people. I mean, again, I'd have to go into research for one night when Michael Phelps won 4 gold medals. Right, well, I'm just saying 4. Hey, but I'm just telling you this. You wouldn't be wrong to say that's the greatest performance in sports history. Man, I'd have to look at it this way. You have games like, you know, you have the 7
How about
touchdown.
basketball, Joey?
All right, let me just give you an
Good,
example.
give me an example.
You have the 7 touchdown Peyton Manning game against the Ravens,
Not
where
in there.
he just destroyed
It's not
the
there.
Baltimore Ravens and
Not
made
there.
them.
Next one. Joe.
Okay, I don't know, man. Then you look at it, the next thing is
Basketball.
Will Chamberlain's 100-point game. I mean, that was never done. That has never been
All right, next
duplicated
one, Joe.
in
It's still
53
not
years.
there.
I
was
don't
in
know.
the lot.
That's your opinion. It's not there. For many
I
people,
didn't
they
watch
would
that
say
game.
that a 100-point game is the most impressive because the record stood for 52 years, 62 years now. That's impressive. When a record stands that long, that's amazing.
Mickey Mantle. I mean, that
Yeah,
whole thing.
I don't know about that. Now, I am
we're talking about one game.
One game.
One game.
I mean, again, I'm just trying to think. Now, the greatest game I've ever witnessed in the history of sports that I ever watched on TV before then was David Thompson's 73-point game for the
I
Nuggets.
wasn't alive, Joe.
Well, yeah, you were. But anyway, long story short, it was in 1984. You were 8. But anyway, the bottom you weren't a sports journalist at
73
that time.
points, right?
Yes, 73 points in one game. And that's the
You
Denver
know,
Nuggets record.
the only one I can think about is Von Miller's dominance in the Super Bowl 50.
Well, yeah,
Which
the
is 10
game.
years
I mean,
ago.
that pales
But
in
that doesn't
comparison.
even compare the comparison.
I'd
with
say
Von.
this. I'd say that it's a question worth reckoning. What I want you to do is put that on our Facebook page tomorrow at 8 a.m. and let's see what the answers are. And we'll read them next Saturday. How about that? We make that the Los Dos Patrios poll question. What is the great and put it that Shohei is ours, because I'll go ahead and even say that to me it may be the greatest performance in sports history. I don't know of any better. I mean, we've had about 25 minutes. Nothing has come across to me as being better than what I saw last
Troy
night.
Renck tells us.
We will. We're going to ask him, and we got about 10 minutes before we go to break, before Tony Thompson gets here. I can only talk about the Dodgers so long. Let's switch it up. The Seattle Mariners also won. They took the game from the Toronto Blue Jays in a game I also watched. And let me say this about the Seattle Mariners, because Cal Raleigh had a big home run in that game last night. And I thought Cal Raleigh is the biggest disappointment for the Mariners. I think the rest of that team has really performed above their heads. And I'm waiting, because let me just say this for all you Dodger fans out there. If Cal Raleigh gets on a tear, and I saw that Mariners crowd last night, and let me just say this. It was every bit as loud as the Los Angeles Dodgers crowd. Those people are insane for the Mariners right now. And by the way, when I went to Vegas, I didn't put money on the Dodgers. I put money on the Seattle Mariners. I have $150, and I've got a good reason to root for them. But after what I saw last night, Nick, nobody's beating the LA Dodgers. I have a news flash for you. The LA
Nick,
Dodgers
your
going
thoughts
back
on
to
that
back.
matchup?
Nobody's beating them. It's not just Shohei Ohtani, by the way. That's a good baseball team, man.
It's going to depend on if the Mariners can get their pitching right. I mean, they do have
The
some
Blue
good
Jays
pitching.
so you're just discounting the Blue Jays?
No, I'm not discounting the Blue Jays. You didn't
Okay.
let me finish my
Okay,
sentence.
go ahead,
You keep
go ahead.
cutting me off.
Go ahead.
The Blue Jays are good, but they're starting to kind of hit a wall. And in every game, the Mariners start off, they end up with the lead. The problem is the Mariners can't finish.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays take advantage of everything. Plus, the Mariners are weak in right field. They got a right fielder that cannot throw. They're taking advantage of it, and they're taking the extra base. That's what is helping the Blue Jays right now. Obviously, when they play the Dodgers, they can't take the extra base. They're a lot more solid in it. I mean, Kike Hernandez
Best arm I've
pulled the
seen
double
it.
play last night.
Yeah.
And so
He threw somebody out at first, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, obviously the Blue Jays can't play that way against the Dodgers. They're going to have to mash the ball a little bit more.
But the Mariners, I think, give the Dodgers more for their money. I think it'd be a better series, Mariners-Dodgers, than Blue Jays-Dodgers. And that's just me, because I think the Mariners have one thing. They're incredible. I mean, you got some guys in Raleigh and Suarez and the other guy, Rodriguez.
J-Rod.
And J-Rod. You have three guys that would be the number one guy on most teams. I mean, as far as just pure power and average and, RBI numbers, those guys are three guys that the Dodgers every night
don't sleep on Josh Naylor.
Problem. Well, I'm not saying that they don't have other great hitters. I'm talking about their three best guys, in my opinion. The guys with the three best
Josh
stats.
Naylor is
Well,
is one of their best
how many
guys.
home runs does Naylor have? He's in the 30s, isn't he? He's not, or is he in the high 20s?
I'm trying to pull it up.
May
again.
not be a home run type,
but he's also
the other
he was
guys
also
are
traded.
scary. I mean, Suarez has over 50 bombs. I think Rodriguez had 44 this year, and Cal Raleigh had over 60. So I'm talking about those guys are upper echelon. I'm going to poop my pants type guys. And I think those are the guys that can get to the Dodgers. By the way, is Blake Snell a robot? When he was doing his interview last night, did you guys see the dark circle? Blake Snell looked like he hadn't slept in like 3 days.
Just Blake Snell.
He looks like a paranoid schizophrenic, dude. Seriously.
That's Blake Snell. He's actually pretty funny.
I love that guy. No, I think he was hilarious, man.
Listen, last night.
Did the Dodgers grow on anyone last night?
Yes.
They did me. I kind of like him.
Listen, man, listen.
I wish we had a team like that.
Our Jersey guys out here today, and I said, "Hey, you got an Otani jersey?"
I don't wear Nick an Otani jersey.
I don't wear jerseys.
Yeah,
I've told you this for many years. I don't wear jerseys.
I have once every 10 years.
I'm an old man.
Once every 10 years.
I don't need to wear it, but you know what? I would wear a Otani jersey.
Yeah, I think so.
And last night,
would you get a cool pair of Oakleys or some $500 shades to go with it?
Listen, listen. What I saw last night, actually, it reminded me of what I used to love about baseball, and it brought me back to the game, and I'm excited about it. Now I have that expectation of what I think should be the best, Nick, about how you play baseball. If you're not at this level, if you can't pitch at that level, throwing 99 miles an hour, 84-mile-an-hour
sweeper,
breaking
man.
balls.
It's a sweeper, baby.
I mean, listen, last night I fell in love with baseball.
So you may have fallen in love with Shohei Ohtani. A lot of people have.
Last night he brought so much fans back to the game.
I think so. I would agree.
Because Colorado Rockies suck.
Yeah.
We have no team here.
Yep.
But
well, you know what? Should I say one thing? Because I thought you talked for about 10 minutes.
Hold on. I thought it was a beautiful.
Yeah, but can somebody else talk for a minute, please?
No, you tell me. It was a beautiful thing to watch last night.
It was beautiful, but I'm just trying to tell you why.
But I watched it with my pop because he's a Dodger fan. If you see my dad out there, he has his Dodgers hat.
I got it. And he's the guy. The reason why I rooted for that team last night is I want to see your dad happy. But let me just say this: when I watch the Dodgers, I see what I want from the Colorado Rockies. That's what I want. Now, if you want me out at Coors Field, go get me a team like that. Go get me a superstar, an actual player that we could be proud of like we used to have. We've had guys like that here. And guess what? I spent 20 or 30 summer nights out at Coors Field, loving life. And guess what? So did 50,000 other people, because when it's good, when baseball is good here, the people will show up.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
But let me just say this. When baseball sucks, I'll root for whoever. And you know what I got to do now, Alex? I got to root for players. I can't even root for teams, because I think you said it best. Ohtani's performance last night is going to bring a lot of fans back to Major League Baseball. We want the
and
superstars,
it also reminds you how bad the Rockies are.
Oh, it does, man. It really does.
It also reminds you of what baseball could be here in Colorado.
I agree, man. I agree.
It
looks so much fun in Dodger Stadium, dude.
Hold on. Here's another thing, real quick. This is my last one, guys, and
okay.
And I'm out.
Good. So
heard that before.
Yeah, good. We've just been waiting to say something.
The Dodgers have the #1 payroll according to Spot Track, which is the.
It's not even close, Alex.
I know it was like 241.
I think the next team is like 194.
No. Milwaukee was at. 14,
Milwaukee was 14? At 121. Alex.
No, 1. 141.
121. Well, does it really matter? Because guess what? The Dodgers spend double. Who cares? Guess what? The New York Mets
So then why
spend
don't
money.
we spend that money?
Well,
Dodgers,
we got money here.
240 million. The
Right.
Mets are 228.
Right. Yankees are up there,
So why
I'm sure.
can't-
The
Yankees are
Boston
number
Red,
9 with
why-
177.
where's the Red Sox?
Red Sox are number 7 with 166.
Do the
Where's the
Broncos?
Cubs?
Do the Broncos owners need to take over?
Where are the Cubs?
Rockies and say, hey, you know what? LA, right there.
Cubs
Dallas
are
is right there,
number
baby.
8 with
Ohtani,
166.
baby. Hey, I'll tell you what. Here's what I would say about this. Where are the Colorado Rockies? They're what,
Number
21st?
18.
They're 18. Which is
76 million.
okay, 76 million. And what's the top team spend? 200 and what?
240.
So they're
40.
3 times. They spend more than 3 times what the Rockies do. So guess what? They deserve to win.
They also
Because-
have the luxury tax hitting them too.
I get it, but you know what?
Don't
I would
care.
still take that. The Denver Nuggets, by the way,
care.
are facing the luxury tax this year.
Find out in 27 if the Dodgers
I
kill
get it.
baseball.
I understand, but what I'm telling
So it's
you
not
is,
fair, Nick.
I'm
I'm not
just
saying
telling
it's
you
not
is.
fair. I'm
It's
just
not
saying
fair,
that it's.
So what
It's-
about where do the Seattle Mariners rank?
Hang on, I got to pull it back up again.
I'm
That's
sure
good-
they're not in the
Good
top
question.
5,
Good question, Joe. Good question.
and the Blue Jays for that matter, because there's ways to do this.
Hang on, let me pull it back
There's
up.
definitely ways to do this, man.
Would you say Seattle? They're
Yeah.
number 16 with 101 million.
And where's the Toronto Blue Jays?
This is American.
Blue Jays
American.
are number 5 with 193.
Okay, so the Blue Jays are just as guilty as
spend a lot
spending
of
a lot of money. But guess what? I bet you can tell me a couple of those teams who spent a lot of money this year that suck. Just because you spend money doesn't guarantee you to win baseball
I
games.
don't know, man.
I think it helps a lot.
Hell
It
yeah.
definitely helps a lot because
Yeah,
you're
it
getting the
does.
best players.
San
Yeah, it
Diego
does.
Padres say hi.
Where are
Atlanta
they?
Braves say hi.
Yeah, where are the Atlanta Braves in
Number
payroll?
3, 213 mil.
And they didn't win more than 80 games this year, did they? I don't
Something
think.
like
I think
that.
they were right around 500
They didn't
this
make
year.
the postseason. That's
Nick,
for sure.
do you
Yeah.
want? Do you think that Major League Baseball wants the Dodgers playing against Seattle or Toronto?
Seattle.
Right. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that.
Well, I'm going to say this. What's great is Tony Thompson is just about 5 minutes away. So we're going to stay on the air for about 3 more minutes. Here's what I would like to say. Whether you like the Dodgers, whether you think that was the greatest performance, what it did was make a guy like Alex and a guy like me actually watch a full baseball game. And guess what? That's
First
what
time-
Major League Baseball.
first
You
time
talk
in
about
my
killing
life.
baseball.
First time.
Here's the way you bring
in
it
10
back.
years.
You bring back guys with players like Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And God forbid if the Rockies ever got one of those guys where everybody just had to show up to see them, I would start supporting the team again. I'm just tired, Nick, of not having. I mean, it's always the kids and the next prospects. And hey, they have 3 good young guys.
Joe, I went to
That might
Tampa
be-
Bay
Joe,
says hi.
Joe,
Well, Tampa Bay, what payroll are they? They're amazing.
Yeah.
And they also
They're
develop.
24th. That's what I mean.
but
Tampa
they
Bay says
develop,
hi.
They develop players. That is not the Rockies' strength.
Listen, man. I
And
went
even
yet.
Tampa Bay, by the way, has gone in at the trade deadline. I can cite 3 or 4 times the Tampa Bay Rays have purchased players only for 3 months because they couldn't afford them past then to go try and win the World Series. So that's not true. Everybody tries to win the World
Joe,
Series.
listen, I went to the Yankees game when they were in town, and I went to that Friday night game when they got in town. Because
The Rockies won
The
that
Rockies
game.
won that game.
yeah, but
You
you know
know.
what's funny though? In the first inning, we were there at the game, and Aaron Judge hit a home run the first inning, and the
Sound like a Yankees
and the
home game.
stadium erupted.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is not right. I said, this is even though I was excited for it, and I had my Yankees gear on, whatever. And I'm not from New York, so I have no affiliations with with them. But I've always liked them because when I was a little kid, I got a number 2 pencil, and it was New York Yankees, and I love them. And I got my nephews to like them, so we all had New York Yankees gears on. But when he hit that home run, I look around the stadium, and they're going crazy. I'm like, this is not right. They should have been booing.
Where's the Rockies, Aaron Judge? When's he coming? When's the Rockies Shohei
Go
Ohtani
trade him. Go
coming?
send him to some other team.
I mean, is
You
there
got to
any?
look for a Nick Swisher first to go sign with another team, so you get that draft pick.
I understand. What I'm saying though is when I mean again, and
if you're the
look,
general
man,
manager,
I'm
of the-
just consider me like a 10-year-old kid, okay? I'm not trying to talk down
Yeah,
against
neither
the
am I.
organization.
I'm good.
I'm just saying that I'm so tired of going to watch a team that doesn't
That
win.
you know it's gonna,
And I know it's
gonna
still going to
suck.
be a few more years. But if you at least gave me one guy, and they'll have to go out and get this guy, it looks like, because they don't have him. Give me one top something guy, whether he plays outfield, whether he's a pitcher from another organization, a proven guy, to go out and I'll at least have somewhere to go, some reason to watch. I don't have anybody that I can identify with that is a proven commodity.
Ethan Holiday.
Okay, he's still a couple years away. I mean, can't we?
You're looking for something to hold on to.
I got it. Well, I can
just
follow
gave you
the
something to
minor.
hold on to.
Okay, but that's to follow the minor leagues. I need to see you go out and buy a couple free agents like other teams do, especially the Padres, by the way.
It's not.
And get get the right guys.
Padres haven't done anything though. They've made the playoffs and they keep failing.
Well, but they made the playoffs. I mean,
but they keep
I'll
failing. It's about winning the final game. It's not about getting to the dance.
Not when you're this bad, man. It's about giving somebody a hope to go buy a $20 ticket. Nobody even wants to do that.
Dude,
I agree. Eventually, it comes that.
And I get what Nick says.
I'm just going to the next step, man.
I get what Nick says.
Get to 500.
But when you watch a game like last night, you're like, dude, the Rockets
they're so far away. Yeah, that's what I said. Right when after the third round hit, I thought, man, we're never gonna win.
I mean, every player on the Dodgers is an all-star.
Yep.
Even the Milwaukee Brewers,
they have 5 or 6 all-stars on their team too. By the way,
those guys have some badass.
We're nowhere near the Milwaukee Brewers by any means.
Next to the Milwaukee Brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers, by the way, I think won the most games in Major League Baseball this year. So we're not anywhere close.
It's just.
Dude, you're bumming me out.
If you're the general manager now for the Colorado Rockies, this is our executive producer, our baseball expert, our guru.
Yep. What are you going to do?
What would you do with this team right now?
Make trades, find pitchers that you can take from other teams. I mean, you've got some quality. The problem is you got rid of the pieces you can trade away. I mean, you have Germán Marquez, who you're going to have to you're going to have to basically stop with the nostalgia.
Yeah, you gotta let those guys.
You gotta figure out, is Kyle Freeland gonna be the old pitcher or is he gonna be what he is now? And you have to find that pitching because nobody's going to sign here as a pitcher.
Yep.
You have to go find some kind of Jason Giambi right now that will get your team back to the point where you can have that old guy that's gonna lead you to some kind of promised land. I mean, you're not going to play him every day, but you like what he brings to you on the bench and in the clubhouse.
All I'm asking for. Give me a couple of those guys.
But they're going to be
solid veteran.
But the problem is they're going to be those old washed-up guys too. You're gonna look at them and they're going to be there for nostalgic purposes. You're going to be like, oh, look at this. You know, we just brought in Brian Braun just to pick out a name out of the air.
I get it. But let me just say this right now. Whatever they're doing isn't working. I mean, they're historically bad, and all I want is a little hope. I mean,
you
like
have
any
Walker
fan
Montford in there that looks like he's so far has made some good moves.
Well, let's see what he does in the offseason.
Yeah, give him a chance.
I am going to give him a chance. What I'm telling you what I'm asking for. I'm telling all our listeners and viewers, I'm asking for some hope, man. I'm so tired of looking at the standings in the end of May, and there's no reason to even check out the Colorado Rockies. They're already checked out of the standings, 32 games behind. You know,
let's go to Red Rocks. Let's go to Coors Field.
Yeah,
just to hang out.
Let's go have a couple beers at the bar
and watch the team.
Watch Dion pitch. Yay!
Hey, Dion's team's
on the field. He's going on the field,
walking around, and they're hanging out.
Yeah, and that lasts about an inning and a half.
It's.
By the way, they want $200 for this nostalgic visit to go to Coors Field now.
Baseball purgatory at this time.
Yeah.
And I don't see the Rockies.
I'm going to say baseball hell. Purgatory's too good for them.
I think the Rockies have to revamp and understand that you have to spend big dollars to be competitive in this kind of market. And if you have to pay the luxury tax, which the Dodgers are doing, as you mentioned, Nick, there's no way you could pay all the salaries without being the luxury tax. I think Colorado's a large enough market where you can actually have that kind of money to pay it. And if they don't want to do it, they just want the stands filled because they want butts in the seats and they're not actually competitive as far as the team is concerned. You have to realize that we're not going to care about the Rockies anymore. We're not going to care. When you saw last night with the Dodgers in Milwaukee.
Detroit Tigers say hi, by the way.
The Detroit Tigers said hello. Say hello.
Detroit Tigers were also in the playoffs this year.
That 20th with $62 million.
Guess what?
They're young talent.
Guess what?
Okay.
Where are they at now?
Right, they're sitting on the bench. They're sitting at home.
I'm talking about a real team that is in the
Final Four.
championships. Yeah, the Final Four.
Yep.
If we want to be really a team that wants to be competitive in the
have a chance to win it all.
Listen, we're in radio. We're a top 20 market in the United States. number 18, number 17 in Colorado. Last I checked with Barrett Media. All right. We should have a top 18 media baseball team that also competes at that level. If they can't compete at that level, then sell the team. If you don't want to be here, get rid of them.
I'm down with that. If they move tomorrow, I won't shed a tear.
I want to be crying if the Rockies sold the team tomorrow.
No. There's no what nostalgia. I've got 2007 to hang my hat on. Woohoo. I'll forget about it.
2017, 2018.
A wild card loss and a one
It's a
run
playoff
win.
team.
I get it. A win against the Cubs and a very forgettable, led by the great Nolan
Get
Arenado,
swept
who
by
everyone said
get
is the
swept by
greatest
the
thing.
Red Sox in the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, there just isn't that moment. I mean, you've got
We're
that
just
moment
not
for the
there.
Nuggets.
We're not a baseball.
I mean,
we're
let
not
me-
a baseball town.
But remember
Because
this.
of the
All right, let me
negativity.
just ask you this: do you remember the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic holding the championship up? Will you remember that the rest of your life?
Yes.
Will you remember the Avalanche, the 3 Stanley Cups, when
Yes.
the rest of your life? Will you remember John Elway diving?
This was for John.
Right, and then him saying this one's
This
for Pat.
was for Pat.
So until that moment happens
That's not happening with the Rockies.
for the Colorado Rockies,
Not a day.
I'm not going to put them in the category. I'll take the Colorado Spartans now as the 4th professional franchise in this town. Forget about the Colorado Rockies.
They've overtaken
The Colorado
Rockies
Spartans have already overtaken, and I expect, because we have Tony Thompson coming up in about 5 minutes, we expect all your butts to be out at the Coliseum. Spartans football, catch it. Hey, last segment, wrap it up. I mean, last little sound off. Nick, you sound off. How many games will the Colorado Rockies win in 2026? Over under.
60.
All right, Alex Ramirez.
now. Don't ask me those questions. man.
I've got
Don't
the
ask
Rockies
me those
at
questions.
57 wins next
The
year,
Rockies,
which means
all
another
the
108
Rockies care
losses.
about-
Yeah.
All the Rockies care about is selling tickets.
Beer, they love to sell beer.
They
I
love
love to drink beer there,
Hey,
if that counts for
That
anything.
party deck's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest.
That's
Hey,
what I'm looking forward to.
hey, Brenton Doyle,
I'm
by
not
the
looking
way.
for a National League an NL West championship run.
Why would you want to do that? I mean, isn't the name of the game? Do you want to go to? I mean, what about a World Series? When's the next time that's coming to Colorado? When's the next World Series game that you're
Dude,
going to attend?
it sucks.
Will you
man.
be alive before the next World Series game?
I
there?
hope I am.
I hope I am too. I'm going to say I won't be. Anyway, when we get back, man, I'm going to really, really raise the stakes. We're going to get real positive here because we do have a winner in town, and that is Tony Thompson, the playoff-bound Colorado Spartans, a team that came 2 feet away
One
from
field
winning.
goal away from winning the championship game.
They would have won the Arena League Championship, the National Arena League Championship, but that is the goal this year. And Tony Thompson did something tricky. He told me there was a guy that they were not going to be able to get signed. And here I read on social media, the guy is signed.
I don't know, man.
We'll talk,
Tony's
no,
looking
it's
a little,
surprise.
hey, he's looking a little
Tony's
trim to me, man.
looking
He's
a little
losing lot of
trim,
weight.
man.
Damn,
He's looking
not-
like he's ready to play. We might talk to him about that, but when you get back to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez, we'll have Tony Thompson from the Colorado Spartans when we return on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Anthony Mayer, owner and founder of Game Time PDR. We're located in north part of Denver, 6825 Broadway, pretty much on Highway 36 and I-25. So we specialize in repairing hail-damaged vehicles. My technicians have special rods, and the goal is to get the tools underneath the dents. And with the special lights and the angles, they're able to actually massage the metal back to factory standards. We offer a done-for-you service from top to bottom. Literally, the customer doesn't have to do anything. They bring their vehicle to us. We get them under our specialty lights. We write up an estimate, submit them to the insurance, get it approved from the insurance, get it in production, get it washed up, and get it back to the customer. We do waive deductibles up to $1,000, and anybody that mentions the Colorado Spartans, we're giving them a $200 gift card. Go Spartans!
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain grown agave. Americans hear about mountain grown coffee and mountain grown grapes. They never hear about mountain grown agave. Okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
This is blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans! What is your profession? This is blasphemy. This is madness. Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender. This is Sparta!
All right, we are back. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel. We're live from number 38, special Saturday afternoon edition of the final word. Broncos and Giants will have predictions here coming up at the end of the show, but our next guest is the man. This is the guy who brought arena football back to Denver, Colorado.
He did.
And he did it in style with a football team that finished just about 5 inches away from winning a playoff or winning the home playoff or getting the first seed.
Going to the Arena Bowl,
basically, they would have gone to the Arena Bowl. So I think that Tony Thompson, the owner and founder of the Colorado Spartans, joined us at this time. And you know, before we get to all the tryouts and all the exciting things, I just want to say that I have been thinking about the way last season ended all off season. And I'm sure some of the players and you, some of the Coach Shaw, some of the guys, I guarantee you that there's a chip that is kind of placed on the shoulders. Talk a little bit about how last season ended.
Fred Shaw
is a competitor. There's one thing, man. He was born with the chip on his shoulder. But talk a little bit about, you know, before we get to, and Alex will lead us into 2026, but talk a little bit about the ending of 2025, because it was a great year, right? What a great inaugural year. And for all of you who've already supported, whether you're a sponsor or a fan, we love you and we know you'll be back for 2026. Let's talk a little bit about how proud you are of the foundation the team laid last year. But how much do you lay awake thinking that man, it just could have been there, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that. And thanks so much for coming on this afternoon.
Yeah, and what people don't, I'm going to paint the Disney ending here of our last home game that people really don't realize how close this last game was at home.
Oh, yeah.
We were up with 9 seconds left. They just scored. They got to kick off the ball to us. Yep. We're up by 1 point. And you think we got this in the bag. Well, in arena football, if you kick off and you make it through the uprights on our end, it's called a deuce. Yep. They score a deuce. Now they're up by 1 point with 9 seconds left. We hit a quick slant, called timeout. We got the best kicker in the league.
Yeah.
And all he's got to do is make it. Unfortunately, the uprights are extremely narrow in arena football,
right?
And he just missed it left. And so that's my Disney ending. I never thought I'd be one of those guys that are sitting there with hands on his head, like, please make this, because the playoffs and everything hung in the balance of this one thing.
Yeah, the one seed.
Yeah, so that one little ending there is tough. And in that game, when I think about it, you always think about the what ifs. What if we had our starting quarterback?
Sure.
What if we had Corey Henry at nose guard? What if we had our starting running back, Lex?
Yeah.
We had a lot of studs that were out there banged up from weeks before. And so that was a tough one. To only lose by 1 point was tough. But when I look at what we've accomplished on the field, I think that those are going to take care of themselves. And, man, I got some exciting, gems to drop today on what's happened over the last week. Yeah.
Well, before we get to that, you listen to Tony Thompson, the owner of the Colorado Spartans here, playing at the Denver Coliseum. Joey and I do a lot of work for them behind the scenes with media. I do the MC, and Joey does the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, right now we're gonna really blast this out a little bit. There's a lot of opportunities out there. If you guys think you guys can play some football out there, 10 sponsor spots are available. Last year, 4 players earned their contracts at Spartans tryouts. This year, they're planning on signing 10 players. Open tryouts November 9th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Apex Center. Joey, you work out there, Joe.
Yep, absolutely, man.
Yep. This is not a combine. This is a battlefield. Bring your grit, bring your grind, and bring your gas tank, because these guys are hungry and they want you to be part of the team. Listen, there's a lot of guys out there that talk a lot of smoke when they're playing. They think they're big and they're strong and whatever. A lot of I'll be honest, Joey, a lot of CU guys that we know, we don't touch the CU guys.
Sure.
And they're like, I can still play. I didn't get my chance, or they have a grudge on, they have a chip on their shoulder. You know what? Here's your chance, man. You want to get on, you want to get back in the action. Professional indoor league, man. Go down there. I implore you guys. We'll be down there, Joey. We're gonna do
we'll do it.
We'll do some running. November 9th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Apex Center Fieldhouse in Arvada.
And what I want to say about this is that some guys have this mentality that tryouts are, I'm gonna say the word that most people say, it's a money grab, and which is true. Some teams realize that there's not enough local talent. If you're in a small market, I don't want to say Sioux City, Iowa, but let's say Sioux City, Iowa, you probably have a small market.
Yeah.
We have Denver, Colorado, the whole state and the surrounding region. Intentionally, we have 35 slots open on our roster. I have currently signed 22 players. I have intentionally left those 10 slots open because I'm going to sign 10 people. We're limiting it to the first 100 people that walk through the door, that pre-register. But out of those 100, 10 of you are going to get a shot and earn a contract. So I'm calling this the American Idol of arena of football.
I love it, man.
I love
because you can earn a pro contract by impressing myself as the owner or the coaching staff that'll be there.
Well, and you know what? That is amazing. But I think the other thing is, what I learned is being part of the Spartans organization is it really takes a village to make a championship team. I always thought it was just the guys on the field that determined wins and losses, but it's so much more. It is the coaching staff. It is the training staff. It is the ownership. It is the little things. And the more you do for your team, the more they can focus on the game.
Yeah.
Because I think the one thing I found out from some other NAL teams and just some adventures that happened last year is sometimes the story is not the game.
Yeah.
And what I loved about the Spartans is the story was always the game, and it was the hard work of you and all your team. That talk a little bit about some of the extraordinary partnerships you developed, because, and by the way, if you're a business owner looking to partner with the Spartans, there is no better way to get your business some great publicity out at the Coliseum.
Yeah, and I mean, we do stuff like, we have great sponsors like Main Event. We do a fun outing there where we get the whole place for the night, bring all the corporate partners in, bring your kids. Somebody said, I need to find a babysitter. I said, hell, bring the babysitter. The babysitter have a lot of fun too, so bring the babysitter. So, but we get to play you get to bowl and play arcade games with your son Dion here.
Yeah.
Like a 10-year-old could play with a ex-NFL defensive lineman, and you're playing arcade games together. When are you going to get that experience, first of all? And then the cheerleaders, the dancers are amazing. They're so outgoing.
It's a dance team.
Yeah,
Tony.
they're so outgoing that they interact with. If you have a little daughter, that's going to be their biggest fan that they look up to.
Yeah, they want to be one of those dancers.
And so when you talk about off the field stuff, when we do things as a team, which we do 2 or 3 a week, that everybody else, I love when I have other players that reach out and say, man, I want to be in Denver. We got a couple signees that we're taking from a couple other teams that we want to be with you guys, because what they see on social media of our guys building camaraderie, doing team cookouts and all this stuff. But that comes from great partners that we have across the city. And we could, like you said, it takes a village. It's something that I'm so grateful for, all the people that we have that's a part of this, that want to see something build in Denver. That's what's amazing about this. As big as this city is, there's so many people that are willing to help build something from nothing, because that's essentially what we're doing right now. Yeah,
it's a huge opportunity for everybody right now. You listen to Tony Thompson, the owner.
Are you going to run the 40?
Joey, settle down for a second. You are listening to Tony Thompson here at Mile High Sports, the number 38. And Tony will be out here. And then we're starting the Coach Fred Shaw show here real soon.
Couple weeks.
Yep. We got the 2026 schedule that just got announced, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through a little bit. First 4 games are away. All right. But I don't think that first game is not that far. So we got to get everybody out there. The Pueblo Punishers, which is a brand new team. Talk about that team. How'd that develop? And I mean, obviously, Pueblo is starting to develop as a big city. Talk about that, Tony.
Well, yeah, no, Lisa, who runs that, she's the owner.
Okay.
She was our ex-GM at one point. So she branched off to do her own thing. I'm glad that she's doing that. I don't want to sound like build any kind of locker room material. But, hey, I told her, hey, we got to treat you like we're a big brother here, and we're going to come down there. Our goal is to
slap you around.
Well, when you and I talked about that, I remember you and I talking about the Punishers, and I'm like, they're having a team in Pueblo, and you said, hey, that's a great natural rival game, and I think through the future that's going to become a great one.
Yeah.
What's the next game on the schedule?
We got the Dallas Bulls on the road. We got Salina Liberty on the road. SW Kansas Storm on the road. And then we come back. Our first home game here at the Coliseum will be the Amarillo Warbirds. And then Omaha Beef, man, those guys.
That's the rivals. Those are the guys who put us out of the playoffs.
I can't stand those guys because they're
those are rivals.
I get it. And then Pueblo Punishers come to our house on May 2nd. Dallas Bulls on May 9th. Omaha Beef on the road.
Spartans played on my birthday.
And the Salina Liberty May 30th. So it's action-packed.
So what I want to tell you is that at the home game, the first home game is April 11th.
Yep.
That Coliseum to hold 10,000 people. I can't wait to announce that we sold out for the first game, because that thing's gonna be rocking this year. Last year, I'm glad for everybody that came and supported us. Every single week on social media, what's crazy amongst TikTok, all the different platforms.
Sure.
We raise up nearly 1,000 people every single week. And I'm like, man, this is expanding.
Right?
This is expanding. This is great. This is great to see. TikTok last week alone jumped like 4,000 people. I'm like, oh, my God, people are watching us on TikTok. But the fan base is great, because what's fun about this is now that I've had a year here, I get to operate with, like I told you last week, Park Hill Pirates. There's a bunch of these little kid football teams that I'm so excited to be a part of, but they're going to come do stuff with us. And then the bigger corporations that have said, okay, you've proven to be a team that's going to be here, and they're buying big group tickets. I'm talking between 500 or 1,000. Sorry, 100, 500, 1,000 tickets. We got a group's going to buy 2,000 tickets for one of our
and that's
games.
what we need, because the Spartans are a great value. I know my wife and son went out to the games, 3 of the games. It was a great time. Dion actually went out to all the games, and he loved and fell in love with arena football. Look, if you're looking for a great family value, $100 for a 4-pack of tickets, and all the vendors that are there, great food. I've had everything.
Yeah.
We have there's a marketplace of stuff for you and your family to go shop, buy different merchandise from Spartans vendors, and then, just other concessions. It is a value that you're not going to forget. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting a full court press on our social media. As soon as those, around January, we're going to start hitting it hard. We want everyone out there, and it's not too late. When can they start ordering their season tickets?
So right now we're doing a fun thing. With you'll see on our social medias, you get a free ticket for depositing $1 on your ticket.
Yep.
So you pay $1, you get to select which game you want to go to, and when you select the other one, that's when you pay your other $29. But because of this promo, you're going to get a free ticket. So then two
Wow.
people can come.
Two for 30?
$30.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! It doesn't
Yeah.
get Alex.
Let's fill this
are
dang
you
arena
serious?
up.
You know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's amazing promotion. It's amazing production. I had so much fun. You know, just
And you guys are part of it. That's the fun part. Is
We
you
love
guys,
it.
you guys are a part
We
of it.
love it, man.
I
We
love-
I
endorse
met
it.
these guys
Listen,
once. I said, heck, we got to have them at the game.
Listen,
We
Tony,
want 'em.
Tony, I love this. I love this. This is maybe we can have our after parties here, man.
Okay,
I mean-
how much time you got left? I got some fun things. to
We got
drop
about
in.
10 minutes left. So,
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have 7 minutes.
7 minutes. Okay, well, let's get in. Can
Let's
I
go.
get into
Do your
something
thing.
different?
Yeah, let's do
Do your
this.
thing,
Let's do
Tony.
your
Okay,
thing.
so I got to put pressure on two people. All right, and I had a great meal at Los Dos Patrios. Shout out to Danny, near and dear. I called Danny, said, hey, I need a spot because I got somebody I'm bringing in there, and we need to sit and talk business. And we sat for 2 hours.
Wow.
And I'm talking about, hopefully you got some Broncos Nation listening to you, but I'm talking about Paxton Lynch,
Yes.
former first rounder.
Yes,
Yeah, baby.
We had a
That is
great meeting. Down to earth guy. If you've
No,
never
he-
talked to the guy,
that's my cousin. You know,
he
that's
is
my cousin.
amazing. Paxton Lynch is an amazing person on and off.
I like the
field.
guy.
He's
He's an
good
amazing
dude.
person. Now, with him, I said it's just gonna be how much are we gonna beat other teams by? The fact that he already is studying film is impressive to me. That he's not a part of arena football, but he's looked at it. He says, "Hey, you guys can do this, you can do this," and I'm like, he's putting himself into the game.
Okay.
So he's got till next Thursday to sign a contract. I gave him a little bit
Come
of
on, Paxton. We
little
need
bit
you,
of
baby.
pressure next
We
Thursday.
need you, man.
Holy
If we don't
smokes.
get him, that's my guy that I want for sure.
Hey, man, we love
get
it.
him. That's going to be amazing. We got a couple other quarterbacks in the mix, but not to put any pressure on him. But hey,
Let's go,
let's
Paxton.
get Paxton Lynch on board.
I'm gonna definitely mention. I'm gonna mention this, and Danny, he's my cousin. And, Paxton Lynch, dude, that guy could bring notoriety more. I mean, obviously we had last year we had Andre Sale, and but yeah, man, listen, Los Dos Patrios, you already know they're at, man. You love their food. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What's
So
another- what's
okay,
another
so
one?
the next one, I've been going after this guy for a minute, and I took a screenshot. That's how excited I was. So I was talking to Drew Rosenhaus.
Yeah.
I know Drew.
He's
Whoa,
only
Drew's-
the most
Drew's-
powerful
yeah,
agent
yeah.
there is.
Big time guy. He's a good
He-
friend of
he's
our
pro-
buddy Josh Mosher in
He's
Miami.
probably thinking, who the hell is Tony Thompson to the Denver, Colorado Spartans? Who's that? I sent him a long email of, I want Shiloh Sanders to come play,
Dude,
with the Colorado
oh
Spartans.
my God. You know what?
This
He's been out there.
And this is me putting pressure on Shiloh. Shiloh, I just seen that you liked one of our posts last night. I saw it about midnight. I said, oh, Shiloh liked one of our posts on Instagram.
Yeah, he got
That's
cut from Tampa.
awesome.
He got
So-
cut from Tampa.
So I reached out to him. He must have told him that, hey, we're interested. So we got a contract offer out to Shiloh.
Wow, man. I'll tell you
his
what,
dad's
man.
close by.
Right, man.
Let's bring him back to Colorado.
I'm down.
I think
I'm
the
down.
Sanders
You know what?
jersey would go hard.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
Colorado
are you
Spartans.
kidding?
Dude,
That is the biggest. That might be the biggest news in Spartans
that was
history for
was
me.
bigger than Paxton Lynch.
Yeah, I'm
because-
sorry, but and it is
Shiloh-
for us because
Shiloh-
that was a friend of ours. I
Yeah,
mean,
Shiloh's
we
good
love
buddies
him
of ours,
very
yeah.
much, man.
And
Shiloh was always
once he got
down there.
released or cut from the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
He's been out there. He's trying to, he's a good.
He's
a
a-
good.
He wants to play ball.
he's
too.
a heck
No,
of an
but he wants to be
athlete.
an actor. He wants to be an
And if he
actor.
wants to do what he's doing, and this is to
What
Shiloh,
a
if
platform he
you-
could have it
yeah,
on.
You want a content because he's a content
Right,
guy.
that's
You-
okay.
you- This is content that no one
Dude.
else in the history of football has had. is
You'll be on Coach
arena
Prime, man.
football.
We'll merch this with Coach
Shiloh
Prime.
might own a team after this.
Yeah,
year,
man. Shiloh might
You
deal.
want
It
to
might
put
not.
Denver on your back. You go smack
Dude, I
somebody,
love it.
jump
No,
over
man,
the
I
wall,
love it.
celebrate.
I love it.
all
So-
that
So the
stuff.
contract has been sent out.
Hey, can I ask you
contract
about
been
one
set
other
back,
guy,
yeah.
man? One other
Yeah.
guy.
Oh my God.
So was that Woodley?
Yeah.
I remember you talking about
signed
that.
it.
We got about 2 minutes left.
Yep.
I remember originally we had a phone conversation
Yeah.
and it wasn't looking good.
Yeah.
And then about a week and a half later, I saw the script flipped
Yeah.
and Lizette's going to be back with us. I
Yeah.
think that's huge because I'm going to tell you that is a big boy.
Yeah.
And he is a red zone nightmare. I mean,
Lizette
how
Woodley
big
is-
Paxton Lynch to
Yeah.
Lizette Woodley.
He's almost 6'7".
Yeah,
He's a high
big
jump
dude.
high school champ. The kid could jump. All of his touchdowns are big guy touchdowns where
Yeah.
he just over top of someone and yanks it away
number
from him.
11. Number
It's
11.
Number 11,
tough,
yeah.
It's
Dude,
tough
that-
to defend that
Dude,
guy.
that
That's
dude's
why.
unstoppable.
You
we
pair
put
him
that-
with Newbold. Ooh.
Oh yeah, well we put that out there, and I said my owner's quote was, "Good luck to defensive coordinators," because just walking onto the field, he's a nightmare. match up against.
Hey, and Sam Hammond's no joke either. You guys signed him as well. I saw that.
Well, when I told him, okay, so one more guy.
Yeah.
I won't say.
Minutes.
All right, so there's a guy that man, how do I tell you?
Say it. Just say it, Tony.
Well, he's a former. He's not a household name, but Jackson is his first name. He played with the Broncos for a season. He was a third string back, but he got cut. And I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank on his last name right now. But anytime you get an NFL caliber running back to come play in arena football.
What year was that?
I know. I should have been.
We'll figure it out.
So Jackson, he's so elusive, but he's also a physical running back. He was back up to Philip Lindsay in that time frame is when he was. But
oh my goodness,
yeah.
man.
So and then shout out to Philip. I keep telling you got to come play a little bit.
Philip,
Dude,
man, let me tell you something.
That's
Philip's
another
the
one,
guy
man.
we know, man.
Dude, that guy, honest, hold on,
He
man.
can still play.
Look at
He
Philip.
can still play, man.
Philip Lindsay's a great friend of ours.
Yeah.
Joey and I covered him.
We've interviewed him several times.
Can Philip get in from 2 yards still? I don't know. Maybe
yes,
he's
he
too
can.
old. Maybe
Yes,
he's
he
too
can.
old.
Oh, Philip,
I don't know.
Come on, Phil, man. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, man. Listen.
Dude, let's get Philip Lindsay on.
I'm always the bad guy. I've always got to be the one that says, "Hey, we got another guy coming out. We got Troy Renck. I'm going to give the last minute to you.
Yeah.
Give me some people you need to thank. So some of the new sponsors, the different things going on. Give me your thank you list with about a minute left.
I guess I could tell. Thank you to. There's a lot of them. I don't want to leave anybody out, but
every week's a new thank you list.
I would tell you that as far as small business, I love the corporate. We need that to pay the lights and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
But the small business that connects with us and they say, hey, we want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of what they got going on. We got a lady that came on board. She sells candles that she made.
Wow.
And smells like Snickers and stuff, but I want to promote her small business because at the end of the day, she's going to be a fan of us for a long time and tell other people about us. So any small business that's out there that wants to get a lot of love, my job is at the end of the day, I'm a small business too. I need people to help support me and I want to support you. And so I just say thank you to all the small businesses and all the hardworking people in the Denver, Colorado area.
Yeah, but you've also
Hey, we only got about a minute left.
You've also become a media conglomerate as far as promoting your business and using arena football as your platform because that 455 that relationship you guys have built that is one of the most, in my opinion, because I have a friend that works there, Lorena.
The first night's going to be Teamster night, April 11th. They're going to be presenting it Teamsters night.
I'm just
You're
telling
going to
you,
hear 10,000 rowdy, hard-working Coloradoans, and I'm excited about the Teamsters being a part of.
Listen,
and they're going to be the backbone of who we are.
That's what I'm saying, man. That was amazing, hold on, Jeff. That one's bigger than anything.
Yeah.
And all these other ones, Spartans with the tequila, the Jimmy Suds, those are all just feeding up. But that one with the Teamsters, man, is
that's a huge.
I was like, when I saw that, when you spoke to all those people, Tony, I was like, man, you guys have arrived, man. And I'm just happy for it.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
Hey, listen.
It's funny, man. As well, man.
Listen. What's funny is he could go on for another 32 minutes, but here's what I will say. Troy Renck of the Denver Post is already becoming a fan.
Yep.
And we're going to talk to him about, we'd love to see him do it. We'd like to see him spread the word. He is going to come up next. He's got your prediction for Broncos Giants. Real quick, I can't let you off the hook. Broncos did not look good on the offensive side of the ball, but their defense had 9 sacks. You're a defensive dude. Yep. Your thoughts on tomorrow's game? The Jackson Dart and Scatterboo with the jerseys off and smack talk running back and forth this week. Your kind of stuff, right?
Is that football sustainable when you play that reckless, man?
It is for a championship. If you want to win a championship, you need those young guys like that.
Now.
Let's win a championship today. I think those two. I actually saw a stat that he's got a little more rookie yardage than Saquon, and we thought Saquon was amazing. But I think that you're going to try to run into a tough D-line. If there's anybody I love on the Broncos, is that D-line.
Yeah, I know you're a fan.
You go head first into JJ and Nick and all those guys. Go ahead.
Give me a prediction.
I'm going to go Broncos. They need a big win at home. Shout out to Tropical Smoothie for giving those guys smoothies. But I'm gonna say Broncos by at least 17.
All right, I like
Yeah.
it, man.
Whoa,
Tony
yeah,
Thompson.
blowout
All
tomorrow.
right, when
I'll
we
be
get
at that
back
again.
next Sunday, regular time, we'll have Tony on with us. He may bring a special guest. We love you, Tony, and we love the Colorado Spartans. When we get back, we have Troy Renck from the Denver Post. He'll wrap it up with this. Who's going to win, Broncos, Giants? We'll ask Troy when you return to the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Spartans never retreat. Spartans never surrender.
This is Sparta!
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Bill Foss, the owner and maker of Suavecito Tequila. Suavecito Tequila is unique from any other tequila for three main reasons. The first one is my agave farm in Mexico. It's an hour and a half south of Guadalajara, and it's up in the mountains at a 7,000 foot altitude. So we have mountain-grown agave. Americans hear about mountain-grown coffee and mountain-grown grapes. They never hear about mountain-grown agave, okay? Only 8 or 9% of all tequilas are made with highlands agave, and it's superior to lowlands agave. Number two, I extra age my tequilas. To be a reposado, it has to be stored in a barrel for 2 months. I keep it there for 9 months. The añejo has to be in the barrel 1 year. I keep it 2 years. The extra añejo has to be in the barrel 3 years. I age it 5 years. That extra aging just gives it more body, more texture, and more flavor. And last but not least, we're the only tequila that adds 2% agave nectar back into the tequila. This little bit of agave nectar eliminates the burn going down your throat. Makes Suavecito Tequila the smoothest tequila you will ever drink.
All right, Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez, we are back. Troy Renck from the Denver Post is ready. It looks like he has his game face on. He is back from London, mummy. He had his strawberries and cream, and I don't know if he got to see King Charles, but certainly I'm sure that was part of his agenda. He also got to sit through, I thought, a very difficult 13-11 Denver Broncos victory last week at what's it called? Tottenham Stadium, I believe it is. So, Troy, thanks so much. I'm glad you made it back safe. But I would say the game overall would be one of those games that, you know, when they say, hey, at the end of the year, nobody will remember this game. I really believe that on this one. I think this is just a game they were lucky to win. It's always good to get out with a win on these types of games. But Sean Payton has been noticeably crabby this week, and I don't think that he's looking at this game. There's been a lot of smack talk, Scattaboo and Jackson Dart. They came into the they didn't have any shirts on at their interviews, and they're the toast of New York City right now. Where does all this come out? Because the Giants have now responded. The Broncos have talked some smack. It looks like this is going to be a real war Sunday, Troy. Where do you sit on this? And thanks so much for making time for us this afternoon.
Yeah, great to be back on, guys. Listen, they played terribly offensively against the Jets the final three quarters. It was embarrassing. I mean, they made passing the football look harder than passing a kidney stone. It was just so bad. Evan Ingram finally got involved, and they had a drive where they got a field goal, but they still could have been walked off if the Jets, Aaron Glenn he just doesn't understand how the clock works and how yardage markers work. He didn't even think they're in field goal range when they were right at about a 58-yarder. They won, and they need not apologize for any road win. They went 2-0 on the trip. But the point of the criticism of the Broncos is that if you think you're in the Super Bowl bubble of 8 teams that can go, 6 teams, whatever that number is, you can't play like this offensively, is you won't beat good teams offensively playing like this. So what do I make of all of this? The reality is this. It's a good way to motivate them. Typically, players are more coachable when they've struggled. They want it. I mean, but some of this has to come from Peyton. I think he needs to simplify the playbook, eliminate some of the long play calls, get Bo to the line of scrimmage sooner. And Evan Ingram and J.K. Dobbins need to play more. I don't need guys getting their varsity letters, switching out every snap. Enough. Your best players have to play more. And that means Dobbins, and that means Ingram. What does it mean for this week? This idea that this is trash talk. I covered Shannon Sharp in his prime. I covered Aqib Talib. I know, and TJ Ward. I know what trash talk is. This is sanitized. You sent through the dishwasher, and then you put Tide on it and put it through the washer. I mean, it's basically Jonathan Cooper's yeah, we've faced quarterbacks. This one's got, he dances, he's got a chain, he's feeling himself. Basically, we're not worried about it. And then Dart is I'm glad he's watching my dances. That's cool. I don't think Dart understands the challenge he's in for against this defense. This idea he's just going to run around like college, I just don't think that's sustainable, what he's done these first 3 weeks in terms of running the football as a quarterback. And they've lost 8 straight road games, the Giants. I mean, Giants fans act like, he's some combination of Y.A. Tittle and Eli Manning who's going to save them. And we'll see. I'm not rooting against the kid. I've got my Twitter mentions. Giants fans are going after me because to me, he reminds me of Drew Lock, and they are that's so bad. They saw the Drew Lock of a couple years ago. He reminds me of you guys remember Drew's rookie year, the backpack celebration, singing on the sideline. Again, it just puts a target on your back. It's fun to cover. I love it. It's just as a quarterback of an NFL team, it's not really sustainable. That's college. That's not NFL. I don't think he knows what he's in for. The Broncos haven't allowed a touchdown at home. Now, Scottaboo's a different animal. He can say it. He can back it up. He's an absolute just tank. Dart, I just not exactly sure he understands what he's walking into on Sunday with the honoring of that 2015 DT going into the Ring of Fame. And I just not sure Dart really grasped the challenge ahead of him.
You are watching and listening to Troy Renck from the Denver Post, man. You just came back from over the pond. That's the team, mommy. How was that, by the way? You told me you and your wife were going to Rome as well. Is that right? How'd that go?
You better not be getting cheeky with me over there, Alex. I knew we were close to London when we got off the plane. When they said thank you, love. And I was like, all right, we're here.
Man.
I love London.
I have not heard that one in a minute.
So I love London. We had a chance on Saturday. So we went to the England-Wales soccer game at Wembley on Thursday night. That was a blast. I'm not a big soccer guy, but it was just a cool environment. England crushed Wales. I mean, they just toyed with them. And then Saturday, we toured basically all the stuff in London we didn't do last time. We went on the Eye, their version of a Ferris wheel. We saw Parliament, Big Ben, a lot of that stuff. Had a great meal. And then the game was Sunday. My eyeballs are still burning. The retina's burned from the offensive performance, but recovered. And then we got on a plane to Rome and went to see, it's called Castel Gandolfo. I'm not great. My Italian's terrible. But that's where the Pope summers in in Italy. Beautiful place with the lake. Oh, we had a great meal there. And then on Tuesday, we did all the tourist stuff, which was the Colosseum, the Pantheon, and the Vatican. Oh, I didn't grow up Catholic. I was a Rena Catholic for my wedding. My wife went through catechism. She did all of it growing up. But it was cool, man. I mean, the Vatican, I mean, you talk about history. We were in Philadelphia and saw the bull. Story's going too long. We saw the bell. It's like, 1776, Liberty Bell. They got stuff there. It's from 700. Like, we're talking about like stuff that's almost 2,000 years old. I love history. It was just, the Vatican was fascinating. It was packed. It was like Disneyland on the peak holiday season. But man, what a blast! And we enjoyed it. And thank you for asking. I enjoyed it, and it was a nice reprieve. I landed Wednesday and right back to work. I love work. This is the first time a team west of the Mississippi hasn't had a bye after this game. And Sean Payton did it for a reason. And credit to Diana Rossini for getting the actual number. Teams that play at home after that don't have a bye. This is teams back east. It's never happened for a team this version of the west of the Mississippi are 12-4 when they play at home after London. So he liked those odds and he wanted the bye in week 12 instead. But they got to play better. They got to play better, and I think they will. It'll probably be a little more uncomfortable than people like. But they're due to get into a better rhythm, and I think some of that's going to be BOGO. I wrote about this week. Alex, how about a little up-tempo? Not all the time. We're not talking the Bills of 92, 93, but how about a little up-tempo to get Bo going?
I get it.
Well, the other thing is, first of all, you're bringing back memories because, I lived overseas for 3 years and I went to some of those places and there's nothing like them. I mean, I drank beer from a brewery that was made in 900 AD and they still make beer exactly the same. Thank God, but it's a different thing over there in Europe. It just really is. Those were the best 3 years. All right, move over to the actual game as far as the quarterback, because I'm not worried about Jackson Dart. I'm worried about the guy behind center for the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix has had a tremendous amount of apologists, and I'm not trying to pull the fire alarm yet. But if you're not at least a little bit concerned after 6 weeks and everything that we got to see in training camp, you're looking at the world through orange and blue glasses. I mean, there's concern on my part here. I'm not ready for Jared Stidham yet, but I don't think that he can continue to play this poorly and expect the defense not burn out from being on the field too long. We all know how that goes. These guys got to get their stuff together, right? Because if they're leaving this defense on the field, 35, 40 minutes a game, by week 10 or 11, this isn't going to be one of the greatest defenses. This won't be a championship season. It's going to be a lot of injuries. You're dealing with guys like Greenlaw and Ufanga who are one play away from being injured again, in my mind.
Greenlaw's not in yet.
Well, I'm just saying, when he comes back, these guys are going to have some time off the field to be as great as they could possibly be. And you talk about this pass rush. Give these guys a lead. As good as they're doing they're doing this when they're behind or tied. Can you only imagine this defensive line? Give them a 10-point lead tomorrow. And let's see these guys. Jackson Dart will have no idea. If they don't come out on all facets of the game, you said it, Super Bowl 50 team, DT, a player who is not with us anymore. I mean, it should be an extremely emotional day. There'll be tons of 88 jerseys. I'll have a tear in my eyes when I watch all this. And I expect this team to come out and perform. Where are you at with that? Because if they don't perform tomorrow, specifically number 10, there's a problem.
Yeah. Now listen, Bo Nix's season's been clunky. It's just been uneven. He played well against the Colts. He played well against the Bengals. And then he had a great fourth quarter against the Eagles. And he had a great first quarter against the Jets. But he just hasn't been able to put it together consistently. Some of it's on Bo. He's had places to run, wide open field. And he's trying to force the issue in terms of downfield where I think, take the 10 yards on a first down. Some of it is on Peyton. And I place a little more on Peyton in terms of the way he's not putting him in position to succeed. I said this, so it's not hindsight. When they drafted Jahdae Barron and they went with RJ Harvey, I'm like, you need more offensive weapons. I mean, you start looking at the teams they play that are really good in the AFC. It's Cortland Sutton, and you got Dobbins, so it's like two men and a mate, and maybe like it's a bad sitcom. Like, I like Troy Franklin. Is he ready for this? And then maybe he will be by the end of the year, and they make us all look wrong. But Bo needs to play a little more up-tempo, be more decisive at times, for sure. And I think he needs to speak up more with Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi, where he's like, I don't want to, they've done it, and I just, I don't want to say too much and overstep my bounds. The time has come. We've seen him do it during games, during the weeks of practice. If he doesn't like stuff, he needs to start voicing it. Because you're right, Joe. It's we're a third of the way through the season, a little more than a third of the way through. They got to start forming an identity. We thought they did against the Bengals, and then they couldn't run the ball. And I will say this: as much as the focus is on Bo, the offensive line was terrible against the Jets. That they protected okay, and some of that's Bo just getting out of the way, but their run blocking stunk. So maybe with Alex Pocheski in at left guard, it's their third left guard in 3 weeks. But come on now, every team deals with injuries. You can't just say, "Oh, left guard's not there. Throw our hands in the air. We can't run the ball." So establish the run. That's the one thing they do well, guys. They're 7th in the league in rushing yards per game, and that's with Bo running far less this year. Get him involved in some RPO, get him in some up tempo, get the run game going. And to your point, Joe, you lead 17-3 going into the fourth quarter. Jackson Dart better he better strap up, put the seatbelt on, and hope the airbags deploy, because he is going to get heat he hasn't seen yet. But if they play a game and it's 13-10, and then so it allows the Giants to run the ball and hog the clock, now you're vulnerable again. I don't see that. I think it's going to be where the Broncos lead 20-10, and they probably don't cover because of a backdoor issue with the Giants late. But I do think they're going to play better offensively, because the Giants are not great against the run. They're not. And that's where there's a point. Stop rotating the backs, play Dobbins, establish the run, and get it going. And Alex, you mentioned Greenlaw. He's going to play. My partner at the Denver Post, Luca Evans, he and Parker Gabriel, Greenlaw is going to be active. He's going to be on a pitch count, if you will. So maybe he plays 20 plays, but a great defense is going to be better when he's part of it. They just really have to manage him, because this guy goes red line, full throttle. He's already had, by our count, probably 3 setbacks with that quad injury. So they got to be careful, because the last thing you want him to do is come back and then lose him for the season, because he's going nuts in the first game.
No, I get that. What's funny, Troy, is Joey and I did the no-fly zone skills camp 9 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this past summer, 9 years now. Akeem, Chris Harris, Stewart, Ward, Roby. And we've maintained a great relationship with those guys, and those guys are cool. And for the Broncos to celebrate 10 years now, man, think about that. I'm sure you were at the game in Santa Clara 10 years ago for the Super Bowl.
I was covering it.
For the Broncos to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, and then not only on that, but DT being inducted into the Ring of Fame, it's going to be a pretty emotional weekend. Your thoughts on that? Because Joey and I the reason why we're doing the show today is because we're going to be down there tomorrow to, help commemorate the festivities out there, and not as press, but as fans and friends, and we have a lot of meetups. We're going to hang out with a lot of these guys and talk about your memory, Super Bowl 50, and gosh, that was 10 years ago, dude.
Yeah.
And now it's like, dude, it's wild, isn't it?
What's crazy about it is typically when a team wins a Super Bowl, I mean, it's unbelievable, but like they've have history since then that changes the memory a little bit. Broncos haven't won a playoff game since then.
Yeah.
So it's only heightened the importance and significance of that team. Now, 20 years from now, it might be different, but it won't be different in how we view their defense. I remember the lead up to that game. So I covered the game when they lost to the Seahawks. I was covering the Seahawks side for like 2 weeks in Seattle. New York, huh? Yeah, in New York. And the Seattle team I talked to was the most confident team I'd ever talked to in a lead up to a game. Like, it was like, man, they got the answers to the test. The next most confident team I covered was that Broncos Super Bowl 50 team. And remember, Cam Newton was the MVP that year. And they were so confident in their belief that we're going to hit him. We're going to make him feel us from jump, and he's not going to want any part of it. And sure as hell, they got after him. And when Mike Rimmers, God bless him, he couldn't block Vaughn on Twitter. He got absolutely schooled the entire night. And he's ducking, he's dipping around him. And when he got that first strip sack, and Malik, I was like, this is over. And the Broncos offense wasn't very good. Peyton had one really good drive, and then C.J. Anderson had a nice game. They just controlled the clock enough. but that defense was menacing. And so what I remember all of that. I remember talking to Vaughn afterward and just the pure joy of knowing they sent out, because they knew Peyton was leaving, knowing they sent him out the right way. I talked with Vaughn this week. Peyton reached out to him and told him how much he meant to him. And that season, it changed how people view Peyton Manning, frankly, and his legacy to win 2 Super Bowls and one with, two with 2 different teams. It really changes how you view Peyton Manning in terms of the all-time greats. But I remember the defense. You talk about the no-fly zone. They, by terms of covering football, easily my most favorite athletes to cover, with Akeem, Chris Harris, Darian Stewart, and TJ Ward. I could ask them anything. They would say anything. They would back it up. I remember talking one day, I was asking Chris Harris, they were getting ready to play Alex Smith with the Chiefs. And I was like, what is the challenge of facing the Chiefs? And Talib's locker was right over there. And he turns to me, he's like, what are you talking about? Challenge? There's no challenge. Charlie Checkdown? You think Charlie Checkdown's going to beat us? Those checkdowns? Give me a break. And I was just like, but that was them. TJ's just like picking guys out on other teams. I have no fear of that guy. Bring him over the middle. Bring him up, because he knew he was going to light him up like the Vegas Strip. And they backed it up. The only player I ever covered like that was Shannon Sharp, who would talk smack the whole week and back it up. But my memories of that are what a special defense it was. I talked to Wade Phillips at length this week. He made the pieces fit, allowed the personalities to come through. But if you guys remember, the year before they lost to the Colts, they bring in Kubiak. They were viewed as a finesse team. Great offense, but they were soft defensively. And that season with Wade, they had a price of doing business where about every game it felt like they had a personal foul and played beyond the whistle with Malik or Talib or TJ. And they made a point that those days are over. You're playing a different version of the Broncos and that defense. And here's the other thing I want to point out to people, because listen, I love what this 2025 team's doing. And their sack total, they're on pace for 82 sacks, would set a record. Remember, when people say, that 15 team played a lot of close games too. Yeah, you know the quarterbacks they faced? Ben Roethlisberger twice, Tom Brady twice, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. These are Hall of Famers. Cam Newton, the MVP. Phillip Rivers twice.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when you start beating Andrew Luck, when you start beating guys like that, that's why they should be viewed as an all-time great defense. Who have the Broncos beaten this year?
Well,
Jalen Hurts. That's it. That's it. So, like, when they want to be talked about in terms of a great defense, you have to beat Mahomes on the road. You have to beat Herbert. You have to beat a Jaden Daniels. Like, the earth doesn't move and history doesn't shift when you beat Justin Fields, who has a sundial for his clock in his head to pass. Like, that doesn't change anything. And so, if you want to be viewed great, you've got to beat great quarterbacks. And apologies, Giants fans, Jackson Dart's not a great quarterback. I know you all think he is. He's not. He's an intriguing, fun rookie. They should have their way with him at Mile High, very similar to what they did with Cam Ward. I would expect them, outside of maybe the first couple drives, I could see the Giants having success. I would expect them to make him miserable. But I look forward to it. I covered DT. I know how emotional it's going to be. People don't understand. You guys do, because you're around it. How much he meant to his teammates beyond the field. Just, he was so tough. The way he practiced. They trusted him as a friend. He was just, salt of the earth guy to his teammates. I didn't know him really well because he was kind of shy and introverted a little bit with the press. And I only covered him for a couple years. But his teammates they miss him to this day dearly because of the man he was with them, their kids, their family. He was good in ways that people are good around you guys. That familiar version of DT. That's how he existed in that locker room.
Well, and you must have read my mind, because as we were about ready to wrap it up, I wanted everybody to, I think that the Tebow to Demaryius, I think it would be unfair for us to say that might not be one. I think that's a top 5 play in Broncos history. I was at the game. You were at the game. I mean, anybody who was in that stadium and that season, for that matter, was just a special time in Broncos history. And then, to go from that and then to get Peyton Manning the next year and see that bubble screen against the Steelers, and these plays are etched in my mind every bit as much as the helicopter, every bit as much as Demaryius Thomas. You can't write the history of the Denver Broncos without Demaryius Thomas. And I think that's the definition of greatness. My dad always said, if you can't write the history of an organization without that person or entity, they were great. And so I'm going to go as far as to say, I'm going to say Rod Smith is my pick for the greatest receiver in Bronco history. But boy, that's a very close number 2. And I think that DT, if maybe a couple more years, or maybe some quarterbacks, if he would have been able to have an actual quarterback after Peyton, I think some of those numbers were definitely affected by playing with guys like Trevor Siemian and Case Keenum. No offense to these guys, but I just wish we could have seen DT and Peyton Manning together a few more years, because that was one of the greatest times in the history of this team.
I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer if that had happened. If let's say DT played with Peyton as many years as Marvin Harrison did, or something like, he would have been a Hall of Famer. Now he's a Ring of Famer, and in terms of greatest receivers in Broncos history, yeah, it's however you see it, Rod Smith, Demaryius Thomas, Haven Moses, Lionel Holland, like that. That's a very small group, and people just forget when you look at DT's numbers those years with Manning. Oh my God. I mean, he was just absolutely insane. The projection, we're talking 100+ receptions, 1,500 yards, double-figure touchdowns. And he's doing it at 6'3", 225. At one point in his career late, he went vegan to lose weight, to try to take some of the pressure off his body. I mean, he was doing everything because as a big guy, he got hit a lot. He was hurting. Even the last year with the Broncos, I mean, he was just his ankles, his knees, just because he's such a big target, he would get hit in ways that would, literally knock the other guys out. And not only would he not miss games, guys, he wouldn't miss practice. Like most guys just start missing practice. Like, hey, I'll join you on Friday, and then I'll be at the walkthrough Saturday. Not Demaryius. And again, that's why, even though he was a little bit introverted and shy with the media in terms of he dealt with us, you talk to teammates about him, I mean, they consider the guy like a warrior. Like, this guy was always available to us, and it is going to be emotional for a lot of people. And it's hard that he's gone because some people in his family feel guilty about it. They should have known more. People that were really close to him weren't really understanding his health problems, and it's sad. I mean, what was he, 33 years old? I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, if I'm talking about when I'm 33 years old, my kids would have been, 5 and 3 years old, what I would have missed in my own life. So, it'll be there will be some difficult moments, but you hope that people remember him for who he was, not just on the field, but off.
Troy,
Alex,
all right.
real quick.
I'm going to put a bow on this interview here, but real quick, I know a lot of your background is baseball. And last night I had the amazing opportunity, privilege, and honor to watch my dad's favorite team is the Dodgers.
Okay.
He lived in LA for a couple of years when he was like 17, 18, and he adopted the Dodgers as the team. And you posted something, and you said something on your sports page, and I'm going to reiterate what you said, man. Last night, what I saw from Ohtani is probably the greatest single game performance, not only as far as game is concerned, but the magnitude of the game, which was a Game 4 NL CS championship game. What I saw last night, and I don't watch baseball because we don't have a team here, so I don't really care. So I watched it with my dad. But what I saw last night was truly something that I'll never forget. And if I would have read it today without watching the game, I don't think it would have had the same impact. Watching what I saw last night from the beginning of the game to the end of the game was something truly special. Your thoughts on where this ranks as one of the top sports individual performances of all time?
Yeah, it's the greatest playoff performance of all time. Regular season, I mean, he's had a better offensive game. I think we went 3 home runs, 5 for 5, like 10 RBIs a couple of last year. Like, he's had individually a better offensive game. But I mean, guys, you all grew up playing sports. Like, you know what that is, Alex? That's Kelly Leak in Bad News Bears. The only thing he didn't do was jump his motorcycle over the fence at the end of the game. Like, who does? Like, it's just the only comp to him is Babe Ruth, and Babe Ruth never had a game like that. He had some games in his butt, but it was with the Red Sox, not the Yankees. He didn't pitch for the Yankees. He pitched and hit for the Red Sox. He had some big games. Never a game like that.
Babe Ruth
Never a
never
game like
threw
that.
99.
And he's a Hall of Famer right now. This is what's crazy. Baseball.
Babe Ruth never threw 99-yard
99 miles an
99
hour.
miles an hour.
No,
did
but
he?
he threw hard for that time. He was probably 85, and he weighed 225, and that would be the equivalent of a guy like now being 300 pounds. He
Yeah.
was bigger than everyone. He was hitting 60 home runs, and the next closest guy was 12.
12.
So it's similar
Home
in his
runs.
dominance of the game. But Ohtani
Get it?
is doing things that nobody ever expected to see at the major league level. In college, high school, you see kids do this, but he hit a ball out of the stadium, struck out 10, and hit 3 home runs. You just say it out loud. You're like, come on now. I mean, it's unreal. And he's a Hall of Famer right now. And everything in baseball is about numbers.
Right now.
Okay,
Right
let me
now,
just-
I vote for the Hall of Fame.
Let me jump in. So I always thought Suzuki was going to go down as the greatest Japanese player. Has Ohtani already surpassed Ichiro Suzuki, who was just recently inducted in the Hall of Fame? And I mean, before you say automatically yes, let's think about what Suzuki did. 200 hit seasons. I mean, so many years in a row. Ichiro, right? I mean, he was the original greatest player in Japanese history. And in my mind, has Ohtani surpassed him already?
He has, because he pitches. And I covered Suzuki. I literally covered Ichiro's first spring training game. A quick edit. Suzuki, I love the guy. He spoke really good English. He just didn't talk it very much. I see him at the All-Star game in St. Louis, and he's got these sick ASIC cleats that are they're very bright when guys were wearing these colored cleats in the All-Star game. And I was like, Ichiro, I love those silver cleats. And he's like, no, platinum like me.
I love that guy.
But he's one of the best hitters I've ever seen in my life. He could have hit. To your point, Joe, I watched Ichiro hit 30 home runs one day in practice in Seattle.
He could have been a different.
He could have hit. And I asked him about it because he could have hit 400. And I'm like, Ichiro, you could hit 400. I told him, he's like, no, because I'm not going to walk. I'm like, why don't you walk? He's like, it's an insult basically to his culture and his country by walking. He's like, I'm there to hit. And I'm like, well, you can't hit 400 and walk like 10 times. You just can't do it.
No,
but he's a bet. But Ohtani has surpassed him because of the pitching. I mean, he's going to be a 4-time MVP already. And again, Ichiro is the greatest, if you talk this hitter in terms of number of hits. Japan and MLB, the best. Ohtani is now it.
He's taking it to a new level. Is what it sounds like.
What's the greatest performance in sports single game history in your life? You've been doing this for a while, Troy. I mean, I don't know. I think last night for me, I was just like, oh my God.
The greatest game I covered was Rockies 163 by easily the greatest game.
A single performance by one guy,
one game.
Yeah, one guy, one game. Carlos Gonzalez's walk-off grand slam for the cycle against the Cubs in terms of a single game performance was one of the best. Peyton Manning, a couple of his different 5 touchdown games, but
the 7 touchdowns versus the Ravens from Manning.
I mean, I didn't cover that. I was a year off until I got on the beat. Von Miller's Super Bowl, I mean, it's close. I mean, just if you, but it's so unique. There's just no way around it. You'll never see it again unless he does it.
It's Boston.
I think it's up there with Wilt's 100 points. These are just some of the answers we've had today, some of the things we've thrown out there. But I'm going to say this because we do have to wrap it up, guys. I'm going to just say, first of all,
bottom line, at the end of the day, it's one of the greatest performances we've ever seen. It
is. And I mean, look, you're not wrong in saying if it was the greatest, but we got to run before we do.
I don't even like baseball.
Hey, come on, man. Can we get Troy out of here, man? Troy is not. He said that 20 minutes, not an hour and a half. Anyway, look, man, Troy, real quick before we leave, though, everybody, let's get the prediction for tomorrow. Broncos, Giants. Troy, I think you said you expect the Broncos to win this game fairly handily.
Yeah, probably 2-0 or 3-0. No, I think it'll be. I've got them winning 23-17. I think that it'll be a backdoor cover by the Giants. I have them winning 23-17, but leading like 20-10 midway through the fourth, like comfortably ahead midway through the fourth.
Okay, and let's go out to our executive producer, Nick Arch. Nick, what do you see tomorrow?
I was on the same lines as Troy. I was thinking 24-14.
All right, 24-14, but you have the Broncos covering then. I think it's 8.5 for the line. I'm not sure on that, but I'm pretty sure. Alex, go ahead. Who you got tomorrow?
Pain. Broncos are going to bring in the heat tomorrow. 30-20 tomorrow. Easy. Scadaboo's going to feel the pain of Cooper and Nick Bonito. Are you kidding me?
All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I've been the voice of reason. I'm on a 4-game streak, by the way, guys. I gave you Broncos, Chargers. I gave you everything you want to have. This time, I'm going to give you the biggest victory of the Broncos season this year. I've got Denver 28, and give me the Giants 17. I think that's and I think, like Troy said, I think it's going to be about 28-10, and about 4 minutes left. It's going to be one of those call off the dogs type, come on, run out the clock, and we'll give you the sympathy touchdown. That's what I see. I just see this being a little bit bigger of a spread before that happens. Troy, we will talk to you next Sunday. And by the way, the crowds out here on Sundays at number 38 when we're out on stage have gotten really big. So we might throw a little extra money in your stocking here. We need you to come out during one of these road games. We're going to be giving away tons of prizes. You bring the missus. We got you in there covered for lunch. It'll be fun, man. Get you a couple gift cards.
Los, right?
Yeah, we'll make sure. We'll make it. We know how you work, Troy. We'll make it worth your while, baby.
Thanks, man.
Seriously, you guys are the best. Take care.
We appreciate you.
We really appreciate your time, man.
All right.
Thank you.
That is the great Troy Renck. Follow him on Twitter at Troy Renck. Make sure you follow his great podcast as well. It is the best. I listen to it weekly.
Dude,
that's how we get so smart.
Good.
He's the best in the business.
So good.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. The other guy who's the best in the business is my partner, the great Alex Ramirez. Make sure you check out our award-winning Facebook
and our
page all week.
Producer
Nick Hart's behind the glass, amazing. But seriously, let me just tell you, get on our Facebook page. Make sure you love us. We're trying to get to 60,000 by the end of the year. We're close. Get on our page. It's the best in the business. All right, until next week, we'll be back next Sunday, 10:30 to 12:30 before the Broncos take on the Dallas Cowboys in what should be a barn burner. Next Sunday, we'll see you. For Alex Ramirez, I'm Joe Rico. This is the final word on the Mile High Sports YouTube channel.